Hello and welcome to another Guardians of Wilt-Shire video. I'm your host Dewi.
I'm Luke.
And welcome to another tournament review.
Yeah, so our third one?
Into the West, Ardacon, third one.
Third one. Should be getting used to it by now.
Yeah.
So this was for the Merry Summer Gathering that was held in Cheltenham recently on the 3rd of June.
3rd of June, Incom Gaming, so a week ago, pretty much.
Yeah, we're recording.
We're recording on the Friday. It
after.
was a 500 point tournament.
Not a GBHL event.
No.
But tournament nonetheless.
Hosted by Mel Mascarenas, along with kind of help from the other guys at the GSHL in Gloucester. And it was an excellent little tournament just to go to and meet some guys who we've been talking to on a personal level for a little while now. So it was a standard one-day event. Something which we're not used to was the timings.
Yeah, so each game was
an hour and a quarter.
Hour and a quarter for a 500 point game, which we know why you did it, to get 5 games.
To get 5 games in a day, they had to be that time.
But it did feel a bit rushed, especially in the practice games.
And near the end.
Towards the end of...
But it's something that, for me, definitely, in future, I will look at the length of game.
Definitely.
And you have to be aggressive, and that's what Mel wanted. You had to try and be on the front foot from the start.
Which, seeing as looking at both our armies as elves, you don't normally go...
We didn't plan.
You don't go all in.
We didn't plan this well.
No, elves you normally sit back for a few turns, do a bit of shooting or whatever.
A few more turns would have been nice.
But yeah, so as I say, our armies, I took a all-mounted high elf, so basically Rivendell Knights led by a captain with the twins. I think it was 10 knights, one with a banner, and the twins about heavy armor and horse. Came to just shy of 500.
I mean, about a couple of
I think it was about 2 or 3 points short, but I couldn't do anything really.
And my army consisted of the Galadrim. I had Arumel as my leader, Haldir and a Stormcaller. Pretty much all their warbands had 3 blades with shields, 2 spears, 1 spear and shield and 3 bows, and then one of them, the spears and the shields was flipped round and one of them's got a banner. So I had 30 Galadrim, bang on 500 points.
Good numbers for elves, I think.
Yeah, no, it did do me well. Like with all elves, it was the defense 6 that I couldn't kill. It was really frustrating, but anyways. So that's our lists. The tournament had the old, well, you can say old, the sourcebook, six sourcebook scenarios without high ground.
Yeah,
so it was to the death to start. No, Laws of Battle, Recon, followed by
Laws of Battle, Recon, Domination game 3, to the death game 4, and then Whole Ground was the last game.
So we'll talk through more about when we talk about our individual games.
Yeah. I think that's all to say about sort of
that's kind
introducing the tournament. Well, there was an interesting thing actually with the scoring.
Yes.
Which we don't really see. So normally you get your points for winning, drawing, losing, whatever, and then sort of VP differences there. But with this one, you get 1/100th of your victory points from your games added to your tournament points.
Yes.
So if you scored 100 VPs throughout the tournament, you get 1 extra tournament point.
1 extra tournament point.
Which I thought was quite good.
It was
nice
good. It was good. It was very good.
We'll talk about how close it was towards the end and how the VPs made differences.
All the difference. The other thing to note is this is the 3rd kind of thing of 3rd. I'm trying to think of the word. Generation of tournament from the Gloucester guys.
Yes, they've done 2.
They did 2 they did 1 in January and 1 last summer.
Yeah, so it's grown from, Mel said during in our vlog, he said in his sort of post-tournament thing that it started with 8 players up to...
Then they had 12 in January,
and this one had 20.
And was sold out.
It was sold out, which for a non-GBHL...
Sold out right before the end, but sold out nonetheless. And there is plenty of room to expand.
Oh yeah, so it's a massive venue. You could easily get 40, I think Mel said.
Yeah, you could get a lot of tables. So that's all, and we'll come back in with our first game.
So, as you said, game 1 was Lords of Battle, and I've been drawn against Ben Camp, who he's quite active on the Facebook page, some of you may know him. Met him at tournaments as well, because he goes to quite a few. He brought a Numenor force. So he brought Isildur mounted, 1 captain mounted and 1 not, and then with his non-mounted captain he had I think about 7 or 8 archers, and then the other 2 warbands were split between shield and spears basically.
Isildur have the ring?
Yes, I'll get into that. So I basically set up, well I rolled a 1 or I think I rolled a 2 actually for deployments.
Okay.
Deployed back as far as I could. Obviously he
straight
at the front, so first turn I retreated, got a few shots away. I think I killed maybe 1 shooting during the first turn, but he sort of split his force, so I was probably around here. There was a train piece in the middle. He set Isildur and his captain there, and the archers on the other side.
Okay.
Sort of come at me and trap me, sort of thing. First few turns went like that. He came towards me. I sort of retreated, did a few shots. Nothing really major. I think maybe by the time the lines clashed, I managed to kill an archer and maybe 3-4 other guys from the Isildur contingent. Made things a little bit easier, but once the lines clashed, I sort of made the mistake of going in, where I should have gone towards the archers, I think.
Or send a few in first and then brought a few more in.
The first couple of turns of combat went really well for me. Banner reroll, managed to win the fights a few times, as with the charging guys as well, with the lances, made killing that much easier. He was obviously going for my horses, which is the smart thing to do with Lords of Battle. But the sort of definitive change in the game came when Ben asked the question, can Isildur dismount, put the ring on and then charge? And I was sort of, I would say
yes.
Because obviously you can only move sort of, I don't know actually. Basically he was base-to-base contact anyway, because he charged in. So he dismounted, put the ring on, charged into, I think, Elwer here. Which turned out to be the sort of the horrible part of the game for me. Up until that point, I think it was pretty close on VP scored, because obviously he killed a few horses and maybe 2 guys, and I managed to kill, I think maybe about 7. So I think I was probably leaving it at that point. In the combat, Isildur had his captain join in as well with the twin.
Oh dear.
Obviously I'm on horse at that point still, only had 2 attacks, now fight 3. There's no point me heroic striking because Isildur was 5-6 anyway. I think I only rolled a 4 highest anyway, which comes as quite a theme in the tournament. They always seem to roll 4 highest in combats. But basically he died in 1 turn over here.
Oh.
Which meant Eladan went crazy, had to charge him, and then he died the next turn.
Okay.
So my heroic move-offs didn't come off the way I planned. The dice rolls didn't go my way, to be honest. That's no discredit to Ben, he played it absolutely how he should have. I think if he hadn't remembered the ring, I may have
could have been a different
story. I could have struck or at least drawn the fight or something. But yeah, I think towards that point as well, I decided to send 2 or 3 knights towards the archers. See if I could get a few more kills, which I did. I think at one point there was 1 knight who'd been counter-charged by I think 6.
Oh well.
And he rolled a 6.
Oh.
Killed 1 as well. Other than that, he absolutely wrecked me. It ended because it was time because obviously the time limit was quite short. I think he broke me the time.
Okay.
So it would have gone for another turn. But it probably saved me because I was probably going to lose a lot more guys. In the end, it was a 16-20 loss for my Rivendell Knights. So yeah, if the twins had survived, or
possibly,
that's a lot more victory points taken away. So well done, Ben.
That's 8 points each, isn't it?
Yeah, 8 points each.
I just realised that.
Well, not 8 together actually.
No, together,
So that would have been 16-12 win if they survived. But yeah, 16-20 loss. Could have gone a lot worse, but not a great start to the tournament.
I started playing Shane Carville-Moore, a lovely Irishman. And he had a Minas Tirith list with a sneaky little Gildor and a warband of elves. So he basically had 3 full warbands, maybe 1 shy of that. The elves, they had 8 with blades and wood elf spears, and 4 with elf bows and wood elf spears. Then he had some swords, shields, a citadel guard because he had the points, he had a banner, and he had some rangers with Madrid and Baragond.
Yeah, I'm nodding my head because I face him there as well.
Not a fun list, and the way we deployed, I deployed slightly out in the open, and he had a wall that he was behind, so archery immediately becomes slightly less effective. I gradually moved up, trying to use my shoot value to get some more kills. I managed to wound Madril. I nearly killed him without him using any might. Kind of worked away at them, moved up a bit more through the middle, and then there was ruins, and eventually they came either side. And I think the main point was Gildor had immobilised my Stormcaller 1 turn, that I wasn't planning to Nature's Wrath, and then the next turn I went to use Nature's Wrath, cast it on a 6, and he resisted with 2 dice on a 6. I was so frustrated.
Nasty.
And if that had come off, all of my elves were in combat with people with kind of in like a ring with the Stormcaller pretty much central. Because his warbands had kind of come together a bit. I couldn't kill the Minas Tirith guys to save my life.
No.
I couldn't roll a 6.
Defense 6
is
key.
A slight recurring theme. It was just one of those games where that Nature's Wrath comes off, it all goes, and everyone's falling over, and this, that, and the other. But every time he won a fight, he was killing an elf. Pretty much every time. It was just, I just was running low on numbers in the end. I think he broke me. I'm pretty sure he broke me. So it was just a war of attrition, and I didn't do it. Defense, the mix between Minas Tirith and elves is really quite genius.
It is.
Really quite genius. Over the last week, I have been looking at making like an Athelian based list with Legolas.
Okay.
Legolas,
cool.
some Wood Elves,
Cool.
some Minas Tirith, and some Rangers, etc. But that's a side note. He just kept. I think he killed about 5 elves before combat.
Oof.
But Shane said it himself, and it's in the blog. Walls.
Yeah.
Walls saved him pretty much because his rangers were behind that. The only guys out in the open were the Minas Tirith guys, and they were only just. I killed some elves with shooting back. I think how they caused a wound on Madril. Just kind of general bits and pieces, but if the board was slightly more open, like some of the other boards I played on, it would have been completely different.
Yeah, I played Shane on the exact same board.
Yeah, you didn't.
Yeah, it was
a
nice,
it was a lovely
nice
board.
but
It was just a bit awkward.
yeah.
For what I was trying to do, and it just he seemed to roll the 6, and then he just needed a 5 to win.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the end I lost 17-5. which
So-
both left us on a loss each.
Yeah, I felt slightly better that I lost by less than you.
Yeah, I know.
But
It was
yeah.
one of those games that could have gone either way.
Yeah, I think a lot of the tournament was, to be honest.
Yeah.
So that was
That's game one, and we'll come into game two. So after game one, I went straight down to table 10. I went straight to the bottom. I presume that's because of the gap in victory points.
Yeah, it was a lot of the games were quite close.
Yeah,
So the fact that you lost by
12.
12, yeah, it made sense. I lost by 4 and I was table 8.
Yeah,
So
it did seem quite close. So I went and played Carl Woodrow with his beautiful dwarves.
yeah,
Yeah. They did win best painting.
yeah, you would have
didn't
seen in the vlog. They were
they were
beautiful,
lovely. He had Balin, shield bearer, and a captain. And the shield bearer was linked to the captain, and the Khazards were linked to Balin, I think, but he only had a few of them. And it's nice to. I was chatting to him. He was very open to learn. He was saying, if you think I should do something else, when I've obviously let me do what I'm going to do, but if you think I should have done something else, let me know. I just want to learn. He'd been out of the game for 8 years or so, and he said he played so many different systems. He just thought he saw this coming up. He's local, just go for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was a lovely fella. We had a good laugh. Elves versus dwarves is always quite amusing. And it was Recon, which played into my hands because he's stumpy little dwarves.
Yeah, and you got more now.
Well, I think I had more numbers. Yeah. I think I had more numbers. So it started with Rumel didn't come on for 2 turns. Haldir and Stormcaller came on straight away. We met in the middle, slightly askew. And Rumel by that point was on the far flank.
Okay.
So Haldir was kind of heading towards Balin. Stormcaller was just hanging slightly behind my lines. And then his captain and some of his dwarves were trying to swing around. It was kind of just trying to swing.
Yeah.
So it came down to a bit of a slugfest. But this is where a player coming back, it really did. I didn't game it as such, but I used Nature's Wrath, and I knocked over probably about half his force. But Carl said to see something like Nature's Wrath, and he just hearing it, and he's like, "Oh, I wonder what that does," and then to see it knock someone who's like, "That's just cool," and it was played in that kind of spirit. Yeah. And it basically came down to a bit of a slugfest, and me trying to move some guys on my right further forward so that I could get some off for the objectives. Eventually led to Haldir and Balin fighting out in the middle, and nothing really happened to either of them. They just kind of fought to a standstill a little bit. The Stormcaller knocked everyone over again, and then we got down to we heard it was about 4 minutes left. We'd just been slugging it out. He was nowhere near the table edge, and I gradually got some towards. That's what I marched some with Rumel.
Okay.
And I was measuring up, and I had 5, including Rumel.
Okay.
That I could get off if we complete the turn and got at least movement, because it wasn't finished the turn. It was dice down.
Yeah.
It was a dice down game because Mel was trying to fit in 5 games. So, hearing we had 4 minutes left and seeing that, I said to Carl, "Right, let's hammer through these combats." And he was like, "Yeah, fine by me." I hammered through the combats like bat out of hell. Nothing major really happened.
It doesn't really with dwarves and elves, because the elves win, but then they can't kill the dwarves.
Yeah, nothing really happened at all. Maybe a couple of guys died, if that. And we got movement done. We got movement completely done from both sides, and it was called time. So in that process, I got 5 off and won 5-0, but it was so close. It was nearly a 0-0 draw, very nearly a 0-0 draw.
Which can be same said for my game. So I played Rob Matthews, and this was interesting because the game before, the first game I taught him, was his first game ever.
Oh,
SVG.
that who? Oh, okay. Yeah.
So this game was sort of helping him learn the rules and how to play the game.
Whilst also trying to win.
Well, trying to win,
yeah.
So he had a Rohan force. His leader was Aimer, Riddermark version. He was leading, I think, 10 Royal Guard with throwing spears, 2 Royal Guard without. We also had
Emma off that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Shane gave him the force, didn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Shane wrote him the
force.
It
was mainly a infantry force, but Eowyn's contingent, she was on horse. She was maxed out, I think. So she had throwing spear, shield, armour, all that lot. And she was leading 5 Rohan riders. And then there was a captain of Rohan who was leading. This is the tricky bit now. There was 1 outrider, 2 Royal Guard with throwing spear, 3 Rohan warriors with throwing spear, 2 with shield. So there's quite a varied warband in there. So recon, my force came on straight away. Both rolled 4s, I think, so they went up 10 inches straight away. His only warband that came on first was Aemer's. He came up on my left flank, opposite me. I wasn't too fussed about them because obviously throwing spears, no shooting, they had to come to me basically. So I, second turn, first moved off. I moved the twins and 4 knights just over the same thing, because I think it was like a barn or a building in the middle. So they moved out to sort of meet them next turn. The rest of them moved towards the centre, where his captain's warband came up through the middle. Eowyn came on the opposite side with her riders.
Yeah.
A very smart thing to do. I didn't have to tell him that.
Yeah.
Said recon, go get guys off. So he said, yeah, these guys can move further. So
moving away.
The turns after was where he sort of fell apart, because I had all
your force
cavalry, and they were sort of separated around, and this contingent could probably easily take out the captain contingent. He left Eowyn and the riders still for a few turns to try and get some shots off to stop me absolutely demolishing and getting off. I sort of met him and said, yeah, fair enough, I'll shoot as well, because I don't want you running off as well. Nothing came of it. I think I killed a horse and he killed... No, he didn't kill anything.
Oh, right, okay.
Because there was lots of them in the ways. There was trees scattered, and where I was and where he was, he had to go through and I had to go through. So shooting war didn't really pan out. This side I pretty much demolished,
just ran
to be honest, because he was in a predicament where I could charge quite easily. He had to come to me with throwing spears. I think it was his priority. So I was able to counter charge. So he thought, I'm going in, I throw spears. I didn't really do anything. No horses died. I think maybe a wound on one of the twins. Possibly. No, they were fine. So basically, twins called her combat, killed 2 Royal Guard and moved round on to Aimer. The rest of the knights managed to kill who they with as well. So that warband was decimated. After the combat, the twins caused a wound on Aimer, who had to use both fate to stay alive. So that was 1-0 at that point. It was time was called, and time was 4 minutes called. He shouted out for you. We're like, none of us are going to get off, because he managed to get Eowyn warband to here.
Like 12 inches.
So 1 more turn, he would have been off. And I was still stuck in combat here and sort of a third of the way up the other board. So we were like, no one's going to get off, just do combats and see if one of us breaks. I think he was about 4 off breaking, and he had killed 1 at this point. So Over here, Twins did what they did. AIM had to use all his might to call Heroic Move to stand up, and then Heroic Strike. Obviously, I charged in with the other twin, who then Heroic Struck, went higher.
Oh dear.
AIM dies. So that was leader gone. I think by the end of it, he was one off breaking, and Eowyn was 4 or 5 inches off. So one more turn, he would have run 5, maybe 6 off. Yeah. But then I would have broken him as well, and maybe got a couple of guys off. Okay. So it was sort of one more turn, could have gone either way. But at the end, it was a 3-0 win. So game 3 was domination. So both 1-on-1, so sort of mid tables. I think I was.
A lot of people were 1-on-1.
Yeah,
lots of people.
I think I was on table 6 at this point. I played Shane, who you already talked about, with his Gondor and Wood Elf alliance. So he obviously had a lot of numbers compared to my 13. Yeah. Domination, that's not what you want. And deployment played out. Well, we both set up our objectives. Sort of, I held one back in some woodland and put one sort of halfway in between board edges, sort of thing. He set one up literally the other side of the board and one behind the ruins that were in the middle.
Okay, I know what you're on.
Ruins were a pain for me because I couldn't actually get in.
Oh, could you not?
No, there was no gaps big enough, and I thought I'm not going to dismount just because I need the extra mobility if I need it. So he deployed half of his force near or in the ruins, and the Baragon's warband on the objective further away with some archers. I deployed sort of in between the two that I set out, so I could go in between the both. First turn of shooting, he had priority and went first. Disastrous turned out for me because I think I lost two horses, and my captain.
Oh yeah, he shot you down.
Yeah, so he killed 2 horses with 2 of his wood elves. Yeah. The other 2 now had sort of a clear line because the gap had opened up. Yeah. Both hit the rider, double 6s.
It sounds like our practice game.
Yes, it does. And the captain rolled a 1 for his fate. So first turn I was like, yeah, this is going to be the way it goes now. He's going to shoot me. So I thought, this turn I can't do anything. So I think I killed a wood elf, and that was it. A lot of his wood elves were behind his Minister with his front 6, and I couldn't get through. Yeah, I couldn't kill them.
Frustrating. It's frustrating.
So I had to change my sort of tactics. I was going to do the shooting war a little bit, see if I can get rid of the wood elves, and then possibly the Minister archers to try and.
That's what I thought as well.
But didn't play out. I ended up losing 2 more guys and another horse. So one of the guys that was dismounted, I moved towards my objective in the woodland. He stayed there for the rest of the game. And everyone else sort of shimmied round to my objective, whereas the twins, I thought they need to do something, so they went around the back to try and kill some stuff towards his objective. Didn't really play out because Gildor, I think he did 2 dice immobilise on Elra here first, which rolled on a 6. Luckily I resisted with both on a 6, so I could then go off and do heroic combats and stuff, which I think I killed 2 wood elves and then didn't actually manage to kill another Minas Tirith guy, but I managed to move closer to his objective. Eladan didn't really do anything. He didn't call heroic combat just because he couldn't really get round because he blocked me off and stuff like that. Shooting war continued over here because I obviously couldn't get to the ruins to charge, and he had sort of line of sight everywhere. Didn't really do anything for him, but towards the end of the game I was broken, obviously. I don't think anyone ran away, but the captain leaving was a big thing because he still had 2 might to use as well. I was broken. He had three objectives. Yeah.
What was
No.
the final? You killed your leader.
Killed my leader. No, I don't think I was broken actually. I think I was one off.
So yeah, 3 objectives.
Yeah, so in the end it was 12-3 loss basically. So I had the one objective of my guy
Yeah.
in the woodland. He had 3 and killed my leader. And the other one was...
Yeah, both had 1 in, didn't you?
Both,
Because I
literally
came over
one of his guy was
millimetres
out just because of the way the
Yeah.
combat sort of pushed him away. So yeah, 12-3 loss. I thought it was going to go a lot worse at the start as soon as the captain went down with his shooting, but I managed to kill some today. I think I killed about 10 guys,
Yeah.
which isn't too bad considering I only had sort of twins in combat really.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, 12-3 loss against Shane, who, in all fairness, was a very good player.
Yeah, very good player. I came up against Matt Batchelor, who had all-mounted Rohan. He had Aemir, Marshal Riddermark, Erkenbrand, and a captain on horse. There was 2 Royal Guard in there, the rest were Red Shields.
Okay.
The captain's warband had about 5 in there.
Standard sort of all-mounted. Right?
Yeah, pretty much. And the way that was set up, obviously objective in the middle, there was 2 behind, there was kind of a big like V-shaped barrier.
Okay.
So I sat behind that, I was like, I'm not getting charged by Rohan. And tried to bottleneck him down one kind of path.
Okay, yeah.
Which worked with some of it, but I had to obviously walk around and climb over the barrier and all of that kind of stuff. And it came down to shooting. I killed a few, he killed 1 or 2, and then he got the charge. And it kind of boiled down to Erkenbrand had like a will. I don't think I had any might at this point. He might have had 1 point of might. And right, Nature's Wrath. Come on, 2 dice. This is what I need. It would have dismounted Erkenbrand and about 5, maybe 6 other riders. So kind of like half his force. Snake Eyes. Double 1.
It was bound to happen at some point in the tournament.
Yeah, in the first 2 games, I'd cast Nature's Wrath on a 6 twice.
So I made up for it.
So I got my will back, obviously, while channeling. So yeah, I was the one game I really wanted it to come off. It didn't work, and it came down to a bit of a war of attrition. And I couldn't, even though the defense 5 rides Rohan, couldn't kill them to save my life. I was rolling 3 highs to wound, even if I had multiple guys in the combat. I think I can't remember how it happened, but I don't know if Haldo died or not, but he caused a wound on Rumil. He still had his back objectives. He'd broken me. It was all kinds of messy. I managed to secure 1 objective. My one, I moved away from one of my other back ones to try and get more men in there.
Yeah.
Like I said, the archers didn't do much. It was one of those games where you don't roll higher than a 4 ever.
Sometimes it's frustrating when you have shooting because...
this is for wounding, for winning
that's
combat,
what I mean. You can
anything.
You can hit with 3 and 4 plus, but then you get to the wounding where you get 5s and 6s.
It just doesn't work.
Especially if you've got like 8 dice.
Yeah.
You roll a 4 highs, it's so annoying.
And he still had his 2 back objectives with 1 guy on it.
Yeah.
And he had the middle one. I didn't quite get there to contest it, I don't think. So it was all a bit up in the air. It eventually finished 11-3 to him. So that's 11-3 loss. And nice guy. A little iffy on the cavalry over barriers, but looking at it now, the barriers were less than half the height of the model, so he would have got all his charge bonuses, which is what we played anyway. Yeah. I wasn't 100% sure at the time. That's what we played. It didn't really factor at all. Not at all. I think every time he knocks one over, he didn't kill him, so it didn't really matter.
One of those games.
Yeah, just one of those games where dice rolling just was not there.
Yeah.
So we are both on 1 and 2.
Similar VPs.
Yeah, around the same, and we'll come into game 4. And so we come into game 4. And I came against Matt Bennett of the GSHL, the Gloucester League again, and it was to the death, and it was an elf off.
Yeah, you were on the table next to me.
Yeah, table 9.
Table 9, I was table 10. But it was very cool to see the two.
So
elves.
he had a varied force to me. He had Haldir, a Wood Elf captain, and a Stormcaller. With the Wood Elf captain, he had 8 Wood Elves with bow.
Mm-hmm.
With Haldir, he had Galadrim, shield and spear, Elven blade and shield. No, I think it was just Elven blade on those. So they didn't have that extra defense, which didn't really matter in this game. And he had some Galadrim knights.
Very nice.
And he had 4 of them, I think, 3 or 4, one with a banner. So a nice little skirmish force, which I think is quite a good idea, especially with like recon and stuff like that. And I lined up with some elves behind, some bowmen behind a wall, the main infantry force in the middle, and some more elves with bows on the right. He lined up with Haldir directly in the middle, his Wood Elf contingent with the bows on my left, and the Stormcaller with the knights just behind some ruins.
Okay.
Trying to get a bit of shooting off. I think I shot at his Wood Elves, and then I peppered Haldir, his leader, and caused a wound, so that's 1-0 right there and then. And it eventually turned to a bit of a skirmish. He just kept moving up because he didn't have archers with that middle wall, with the Haldir's warband. His knights went and charged my archers, but Rumil jumped across.
Okay.
Slaughtered all of those. Whilst this was happening, our lines clashed, with his Haldir behind his line, so he wasn't really getting involved. Rumel managed, and a Stormcaller came up behind, and that's it. He forgot to Nature's Wrath. I forgot that he could have done that as well. So we got into like the combat phase, and he was like, "Oh no, I remember what I forgot to do." And then so it all kind of came down to that. I then Colwyn's. Oh yeah, that was it. His Rumor jumped across. His Stormcaller and his banner got into his kind of V shape in the middle.
Yeah.
I used Colwyn's and sent his banner away. I think it was like 4 inches or something. So it was out of range to do anything, and it was off his horse and on his back. Then Rumil heroic combated onto the Stormcaller with 3 other guys.
Yes.
Slaughtered him in a turn,
Yes.
which was, I was like, oh, phew, thank God for that. I think I may have resisted Nature's Wrath at one point as well. Just, nasty. I think it was with the Stormcaller. I think I resisted with the Stormcaller. and then was like, right, that's good. He's out of will, right, fine. Managed to get onto Haldir. Haldir versus Haldir, killed Haldir. So that's 3-0. Jumped onto his banner with Rumil, heroic combat again.
Yeah.
Slaughtered the banner. But then, as his was a V-shape, a defensive V-shape, and mine was kind of around him, obviously. My banner was supporting with 2 other guys. My banner and 2 others were supporting combat.
Okay, yeah.
But his archers had clear line of sight.
Oh.
And he shot all 3 of them dead.
Ah,
so the banner and the 2 guys he was touching, all dead.
Oh, no way.
So I couldn't pass it on at all.
That's quite cool.
Which was like, because I could have got max VPs.
Oh, yeah.
Could have got max VPs. However, I didn't, but I did break him. I presume he had less models than me because he had mounted ones.
Yeah, he would have done.
But it was only a few less. So in all, I broke him, wasn't broken, killed his leader, my leader was fine, and it ended 8-0 for me.
Decent win. My game was against Jack Stanley, who is also from the GSHL.
Yep.
So that's harder to say. GSHL.
Yeah.
He brought a Easterling force, not too dissimilar from our bat rep.
Yeah.
It had sort of similar sort of thing. So he had Ander as his leader. He had a war priest. They were both leading sort of shield, pikes, and a couple of cataphracts. And his last warband was a Eastland captain with bow leading 4 archers.
3 or 4.
3 or 4, yeah. I deployed at the back, as I tend to do, try and get some shots off against non-shooty armies. He deployed his archers sort of as far as he could up on...
oh, he's up on like a Goblin Town.
Goblin Town scenery thing, yeah. Which is very cool, to be fair. And the rest of his army was sort of behind a big scenery piece in the middle.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you playing on the Airball?
Yeah, the very nice board, very nice board. So obviously I was already 2-0 up, so I had a ban and he did it.
Okay.
So priority was keep him safe. So best thing I thought to do was, at least for the first couple of turns, go for his archers.
Yeah.
Because they're the main threat at the minute to my banner and horses. So the first turn priority went to me, so my shooting, I think I killed 3 of his archers.
I think you
2 or 3 of his archers in the first
just
turn.
from the giggling that I heard on the table next to me, it was like, oh dear, here we go.
We both said at the beginning, yeah, I'm going to go for your archers. He said, yeah, fine. So yeah, those, I think 2 went down in the first turn. He returned fire and didn't do anything.
He took out Twins horse, didn't he?
Yes, no, like first turn, he took out Eladan's horse.
Oh dear.
Eladan?
One of them. No, Elrohir.
Elrohir, yeah, Elrohir's horse. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Can't complain about that. Second turn, my priority again. He had to sort of shift his archers so we could get a proper line of sight of what he wanted, which then opened it up to me getting all my shots at him.
Yeah.
So I did the first 2 at just a normal archer left. Don't think he did anything. Next 2 killed him.
Yeah.
So then I had 8 shots with the captain at his captain. He went.
Oh, did you kill him in a turn?
Yeah, so his archer contingent went in his first 2 turns, which I was happy about. None of my horses would die at this point. My banner was safe for the moment, which I was happy about. And I'd killed 4 models, 4 or 5. So he then sort of decided, yeah, I'm going to come at you now next turn. So he came round to the right. I sort of shifted some of my guys towards him because I thought, if it comes to it, I fancy the fight.
Yeah.
And then 4 sort of went up towards around
to try and
trap basically. Those 4 managed to kill 2 horses from his cataphracts.
Because he had about 10, didn't he?
No, I don't think it was that many. I think it was about 8.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. You probably saw less because I killed 2 of them early on.
I don't know. I played no a couple of times.
But yeah, so I think another turn of shooting I did, nothing really happened. I thought, you know what, bottom table, we're not going to do anything.
So let's
go for the fight. And it went my way.
Oh, that's good then.
I didn't win all the fights, but he just couldn't kill me because he was obviously going for the guys. Because he needed to kill.
Which is
6s. Fury helped him a lot. He managed to cast that on 1 dice, channeled 1 dice. I thought it was a risk, but no, it came off with a 4, I think. Yeah. So fair enough. And then the other, he saved 1 will for Fury, but used the other one for Blade Wrath and Under at one point. Which I should have really anticipated. I think it was a turn after the lines clashed. I already killed another 5 or 6 in 1 turn of combat. So I was getting a bit overconfident. Charged Eladan in, and he took 2 wounds off Ander.
Ooh.
No, took from Ander. Sorry.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so this is a bit scary. Wasn't my leader, so I wasn't that worried, but I'd rather not lose him.
Yes.
I think, he killed his horse first off with some supporting guys or something, and then caused 2 wounds. I took both fate but failed one, so we're down to 1 wound.
Yeah.
I was like, at this point, I don't want him to die because Elladan's in a nice position to go around killing all the other stuff. So I sort of tried to back him away, but it didn't really work. So then he died.
Yeah.
Next turn because he got trapped. I think an Elra here went mad, but really didn't do anything. So yeah, Elra here is now, what would you call it? Enraged? Or?
Yeah, I think it's enraged.
It's an unbreakable bond or something. But yeah, so he didn't really do anything the rest of the game. My captain did well. He managed to kill a few heroic combated into the War Priest.
Yeah.
He and another guy charged in, knocked him over. I think it caused 4 or 5 wounds. I was like, yes, War Priest is going down.
Yeah.
Unluckily, everything was saved with Fury. From the captain's wound, sorry, because obviously he only needed 4s.
Yeah.
No, they both needed 4s, but yeah, I rolled 4 4s with the captain. All of them saved, but luckily I managed to cause a wound with the other knight that I joined in.
Yeah.
Next turn,
Killed him.
Job
done.
So I think it really did come down to the last turn, but the way the combats were, if he managed just to kill a few more, I would have broken and then it'd been a different game. But in the end, it was a 7-0 win for me, 5 for breaking him and not being broken, and 2 for the banner. Both of our leaders were absolutely fine.
Okay.
No one took a wound or anything. We broke both out of might, but that's it.
That's not too bad.
So yeah, at the end of 4 games, we're both 2 and 2. So we'll come back with game 5. Game 5, last game of the tournament.
Yeah.
I was drawn against Scott Whitefoot, who actually said to me he watches our videos. So nice one, Scott. It was whole ground.
Yes.
And it was an elf off for me this time.
Oh right.
A high elf off.
Oh yes. No, I do remember.
So his army was a Rivendell captain with 5 knights.
Yeah.
It's basically the box set that you get, which is fair enough. He also had Glorfindel, not mounted, but he had his armour of Gondolin, and he was leading 11 with shield and spear, 1 with banner, who had shield and spear as well.
Okay.
So deployment, I managed to get my knights on the north board edge.
Yeah.
We played it as north was facing the courtyard, so
it
was the left hand as I'm looking at it. Knights came on. My twins rolled a 2.
Oh dear.
So I was like, I'm going to might it down just in case, so I can sort of counter where he comes on next. So I used it with, I think it was Elladan, I think. I'm not sure, one of them.
Because you have to specify one of the leaders. So
Elladan, I always put Elladan as the leader, so it would have been him.
So you get no confusion there.
Yeah. He brought on his knights first, and he chose this board edge right in the corner, so we had my knights and his knights shooting war, and he brought Glorfindel's on the opposite side, obviously with the plan to
come to the middle,
march up into the middle.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Next turn, well actually this turn shooting, he killed 2 of my horses.
Okay.
Good going with 6 shots, and I didn't do anything.
Oh dear.
Because he managed to deploy behind a wall.
Yeah.
So I had to do it anyway for that. But I was like, no, it's fair enough. It's equal numbers this side. Well, equal-ish this side. Because I was trying to move some guys into the middle to stop Glorfindel getting everything. Next turn, I stayed still with all my knights, I think, as did he. He called a heroic march for Glorfindel to get everyone up. And my twins came on the board edge that his knights had come on.
Awesome.
Obviously his were further up, but I managed to sort of get it so they moved on their 10 directly behind, which is good. Shooting that turn, I think he killed actually 1 of my knights, and I killed 2 horses.
Okay.
So at this point shooting was pretty even. Turn 3 is where it gets interesting. Twins get into combat, do what they do, kill some knights, and I decided to move some knights forward to help out with the twins in combat, so that contingent would go down. I think his captain went down in turn 4 or 5
Mm-hmm.
because I charged. Well, his horse died. I can't know if I shot it or it killed it in combat.
Yeah.
I charged twins in, and the captain called her combat
God.
in just to make sure that he goes. And I think that was literally it for that warband. The other knights went down to my knights with the charge. So now the worry was Glorfindel with his shield and spear guys. At this point, they had all sort of got within the 6 inches range that we needed to. So I thought.
So you had to really try and get across and do some damage.
I thought because I left for about 5 or 6 knights to try and do some shots against no shooting, which is the plan. Didn't do anything. So by the time the captain here had gone down and his knights had gone, everyone's charged in. I think I lost another 2, but he lost a lot.
Significant proportion.
He had a banner as well, but for some reason I just kept winning the fights. With my lance, I needed 5s instead of 6s.
Lances are amazing.
I managed to take a wound off Glorfindel as well.
Ooh.
All his fate. I think he used his fate was terrible. I think he rolled 3 1s.
Oh dear.
Or something similar with 1s and 2s, and he'd already used all his might from heroic marches. So that was ideal for me.
Final score?
Final score was 12-6, and that was only because we rolled a 1 or a 2 after we broke.
Okay.
We had another sort of, I think it was about another 20 minutes or so
God.
until time. It was that quick a game, and all my guys were sort of starting to pile in as well. But no, a 12-6 win, ended up 3-2, so I'm happy about that.
That's not too bad. I came up against Tom Large, who had a really nice force. He had Gwahir and an eagle. He had New Thranduil on elk, which is beautiful, with about 6 palace guards, something like that. And it happened that I lost deployment priority. So he brought his eagles on kind of here, and then he let me place Thranduil. I placed him on the far corner. Then I brought my Stormcaller on first, because he's got the less might. He came on behind the eagles. Perfect.
I remember what happened.
Then, and that was, this board edge was the 4 roll of a 4. Then with Halday and Rumor, I both rolled 5s. Mighted them both to 6s so they could come on with my Stormcaller. Then it came to first turn priority. I lost it. I called a heroic move with Rumil. He called one with Gwahir. It came down to a roll-off. If he wins, he flies away. But I don't get him. He lost. So Rumil charged Gwahir for the swift parry. Haldir charged the other eagle. The Stormcaller cast Nature's Wrath. So you've got 2 eagles on the floor with loads of elves around them, with a banner, with Rumil struck, Haldir struck. So by this point, end of turn 1 of actual gameplay, Rumil has no might. Haldir's got 2 left. The Stormcaller's used his will. I think I even mighted it to a 6 for Nature's Wrath. He didn't resist. Gwahir died in the first turn. The other eagle survived with 1 wound remaining. And then Thranduil, so basically for the rest of the game, the eagle flew away, like towards the middle. I moved up, was getting some shots off, wasn't really wounding the eagle at all. Thranduil came in, was coming around and just running around, didn't want to really engage. So I was shooting at him, managed to get him off his elk. Then the eagle started to come back towards me. I used call winds, threw the eagle 9 inches away into open field and shot it dead with my archers because they were in a bank by this point. So by this point he's got Thranduil on foot. He has his other 6 palace guard coming up with them. I managed to swing around and engage the palace guard, kill the ones on the far flank. So move all my guys ground towards the middle. Thranduil killed a guy, or a palace guard killed a guy. Haldir went into Thranduil, struck a couple of times. Hero struck a couple of times. Then I basically just gradually marched towards the middle. and got to the point where I had everything except the one guy who died in the middle, and I tabled him. But he was a very gracious man. Was not sorry about it at all. It was the way it should be played.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with
That's
it.
good.
He played 40,000 at one first, picked up Thranduil, painted it in a week. Right, let's go to the tournament. Let's play some games.
Fair
so
enough.
yeah,
Good on
really
you.
really good guy. But because the game it ended pretty quick.
Yeah.
Well, it was a lot of movement towards the end, but the fact that I jumped on Eagles first turn and boom boom, job done. And lost one guy out of 30. I killed his leader. All of that kind of stuff. I'm not broken. I won 35-0.
Which I think was probably one of the biggest winning margins of the weekend.
Probably the biggest winning margin of the weekend.
It was that.
Essentially, the game came down to a dice roll.
Yeah. If.
Kind of, and everything paid off. Everything came off for me. I think I struck higher than him with both.
Okay.
I think Grahir didn't get to 10, Rimmel did. He didn't roll a 6, I did. I had probably 8 guys on each. Obviously Haldo struck higher. Eagles are a big glass hammer. Big glass
They
hammer.
are.
So that's how game 5 ended for me. Like I say, we both ended 3-2. And we'll have a general roundup next.
Yes.
And so, after one of the strangest YouTube interludes with a haircut and a lighting change
Yes, and
and
you got a
a
really bright,
camera charge and everything,
really bright
we're back for our summary. So, to sum up again, I finished 3-2.
As did I.
Yes. So it came down to the presentation. And between the top 4 players, as you will have seen in the Journey vlog, there was, what was it, like
So
0.1 or something?
It was very close. Between first and second,
It was
0.07
0.07.
or something.
7,
Yeah.
I think.
So 7 VPs basically.
Something along those lines, yeah. And then between the top 4, it was like 0.2. It was really, really close because no one went 5-0.
Yeah, it was 4 people.
4 people on 4 wins, 1 loss. Which I think is incredible.
It is.
To be honest.
It's really, you never, especially from 5 games, you expect
Yeah.
someone to win all of them.
Yeah, no, there was the armies were relatively competitive, but not along the filthy line.
No, there was nothing that was sort of
Majorly
optimised
or anything like that.
anything
The
like that.
only thing I would say, Ian Baldwin's or Goblin King and
Shade with Orc Sperm.
with orcs.
But that was it. It wasn't exactly
No, there wasn't
filthy. It was just
massive.
literally,
Um,
he wanted to do all Goblin Town, but he couldn't
because of
there was
the
a-
model limit.
there was 60, it was between 8 and 60 models you had to
8 and
have.
60, yeah.
So
So you
you
couldn't
go
all hero,
which is what you want.
massively.
No.
So then we looked at our results.
Yeah, we didn't check before we left.
No, we didn't check before we left, but Mel put up all the results
Yeah.
on the following day. And you finished
I finished 8th.
8th, I think it was.
Yeah, 8th. 3 and 2, 8th.
3-2.
And you finished
7th!
So yeah.
We had a bit of a giggle about that.
we did. It was the
Um,
fact that your last game you won by 35 VPs.
Yeah, but your VP difference
My VP difference
was
was
like +3. Mine was like +29 because of that last game.
yeah. If you'd won by a normal margin like everyone else,
I
it would have been a bit
think it would have
closer.
been a bit closer.
But no,
Between us and all, there was about what was it, 7.072 or something like that.
something like that.
So there wasn't masses between us. So yeah, a very very good weekend.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, weekday.
Just
Nice little trip up to Cheltenham, about an hour for us.
Yeah, not too far.
We'll definitely try and make it to future events. Really, really good. We're going to try and go up possibly later in the summer.
Yes, to
and get a battle rap done.
Yeah, get into
possibly.
Incom with Ian and Mel. I think we discussed.
Ian, Mel, and Jack. I think we'll
do some back reps there.
Do back
Nice
reps
to see.
and
She hope to see
chat
us.
through and a bit more. Yeah. So it's not just us two.
Since that event, the Southern Hobbit League has been sort of founded, so people, because a lot of the tournaments, is up north.
Yes, and a lot of the players are up north. Up north being north of England, for international viewers. And by north we mean above Watford.
Yeah. Which isn't that as most of the country, to be fair.
Yeah, which is the majority of the country.
So the good thing is that since this event, there's been talk of having lots more tournaments
more local
in this area,
more south tournaments. So Callum Edens and Mark Kempster are looking at doing ones in Oxfordshire.
There's already been
David
one.
Clubley is already on the GBHL tournament league, and his is at Reading. There's
obviously Cardiff as
Cardiff
well.
and Firestorm. Then there's Incom and Cheltenham.
So you've got places around London as well, which is quite popular.
Hopefully there'll be a few more down south, and to get a few more involved.
Yeah.
We saw quite a few varied armies.
Yeah, it was nice to see that. I think out of the 20, there was only
two Hobbit era armies.
Yeah, 2 Hobbit era, which is
two?
good to see. Sort of the classic.
Well, there was obviously there was
Thranduil's Hall you faced.
Thranduil's Halls I faced, which are Thranduil and Eagles.
And the Iron Hills.
There was an Iron Hills, there was a Chariot, which we saw for the first time. Yeah. It's so cool,
Very cool.
You've got a semi-Hobbit.
Semi-Hobbit, yeah, not pure. That's
then
old.
There's
only 7 evil armies.
Yeah, I think we count out of 20 armies, there was only 7.
Which
evil
I'd
ones.
say normally
not a wraith in sight.
No wraith.
Not a wraith in sight.
Not just no fell beasts, no wraith. Which is awesome
I think
to see.
A little bit strange.
Oh yeah,
I don't mind seeing wraiths in a built army list.
Yeah. It was.
I am quite partial to take them. I'm not fussed. They're good for what they do. If you're going to play competitive, you probably want to take a wraith.
Yeah, we both wanted to go up to try and
do relatively well, and I think we did do.
We did do relatively well. 7th and 8th out of 20.
I'm happy with that.
Happy. Top 30.
Definitely happy with that, especially after my dice rolling.
After the shaky start we both had.
Didn't help at all. So that's our review of our games at a merry summer gathering. I hope you like this video. Please comment, like, share and subscribe.
Like our Facebook page.
And we'll see you soon.